Sorry, guys, for that quick second there that there was nothing. I'm going to do this as quickly as possible because I'm sure everyone just wants to get to Antoine because I totally understand that. I do have a few things to go over very quickly. First thing you might notice is things look a little different from my camera. Unfortunately, I tested positive for COVID on Wednesday, and my laptop is at my office, which I haven't been able to go back to pick up. So we're doing this on the phone. I'm really hoping everything's clear and concise. Antoine and I seem to be able to hear each other very clearly. So I really, really hope everything's okay. And then secondly, I already mentioned it once, I have COVID. I'm really, really hoping that I keep my voice through all this. I've taken some cough medicine. I've taken cold meds all day. But you never know. It's been a bastard. It seems like the symptoms come and go and, just punch you in the face whenever they feel like it. So that's been great. But yeah, other than that, super, super excited for this. Antoine is actually our first guest to come back on by himself, like to be a singular guest. So, you know what? I've rambled long enough. So we're just going to roll the intro video. And when we come back, we're going to get right into it. See you in a sec, guys. It's Friday night. So, do you know what that means? Why is this not working? It's Friday night. So, do you know what that means? Let's hope that little hiccup is the only problem that we have. How's it going, man? How are you?
Good, man. It's been a long time since I've been on a live and your live. So I feel like we lied to the to everybody who's like, hey man, we're gonna make this like a once a month thing, and that that
The
did
fun
not happen. But yeah,
time tried to make this happen, and it just like we'd start talking about it, and then it just fall apart.
yeah, dude. And people to go back to the first video, you could probably be like, man, he aged terribly since,
Don't
dude.
don't have to do.
I'm
I'm already sick.
I'm 40 years old now. It's all this extra gray showing up in my face, and my damn knees sound like potato chip bags when I get out of the bed. Man, this snake and social media life, man, is taking its toll. But I mean, I rather there's no place I'd rather be than right here, man. So I enjoyed the whole ride, the good and the bad. I'm just freaking wore out, bro. It's crazy.
Oh man, I completely hear you. We're literally probably in the busiest time for us snake wise that we've had since we started, and of course, right now is when I get sick because this is twofold for me. Not only are we as busy as we possibly could be on the snake end, literally more eggs in our incubator than we've had ever at
Yep.
the time. But on top of that, I'm supposed to be moving, and yeah, so I caught COVID the Wednesday before I move, which was
Jeez.
weekend. Um, so yeah, it's been fun, kind of going back and forth between feeling somewhat human and like I've been hit by a transport truck.
Is this
Uh,
your first time getting COVID, or
I avoided it the whole.
fuck?
I have no idea how, and then all of a sudden,
Hey man, you might have that. You might have that monkeypox. Yeah.
all I know is the little COVID test says I have COVID. If it's not COVID at this point, I mean, I don't fucking know. Like, I just like I really afford the time off work. I really couldn't afford the time away from the snakes. I really,
Yeah.
I'm not moving, and of course, all three at the same time. But whatever.
Yeah.
um,
It's nuts, man. This year was crazy, y'all. I got COVID twice.
oh
The first time it was just like a little chest cold, and then the second time I thought I just had like a sinus infection. I was just a real stuffy nose, but no real like it didn't keep me down for long, you know what I mean? But it was noticeable, you know. So I kind of kept myself in my little room, and you know, had like Chris Doug for anything to last. Stupid, freaking Randy.
definitely feeling super already. So that really helped. Um, and guys, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to be a little red here. I have a fever, and I also had to close all my windows because it's super loud outside. There's some construction, so it's also really warm. So like, I just can't win on any front right now. But we're going to try and make this work because literally it's the only thing I've had to look forward to since I started feeling it. So, um, all that said, how's your year going? How's your season going?
So this will be the biggest year ever for me. Last year I only had 16 clutches total. I mean, like all the way up from like January to December, and now I got clutches like 7 through 13 in the incubator, and then all those yellow tabs right there on the back. Those are all confirmed ovulation slash prelay sheds.
Yeah.
So So that, and then I'm still pairing another 25, 30. So I got like a whole clutch of Posset Sunset girls that that's all breeding right now. The double head Sunset Puzzle project is breeding. The Ultra Male Batman project is breeding, and there's a bunch of other stuff too. So all the stuff I'm really really excited about this year isn't going to happen till the end of the year, but hopefully it still happens.
You know what? It's not always bad to have some of those late clutches though, right? It kind of
Yeah.
gives you a little bit of leeway, a little bit of time to kind of deal with the rest of your season. I'm kind of right now wishing some of my girls went a little later because in the next like month or so, I'm gonna be so overrun with hatchlings. Like I'm gonna have so many, I don't know what to do with. I'm gonna literally have more than double that I've ever had at one time,
Yeah.
all come out of the incubator together. Like
I had to change up my whole incubation method of how I even hatch animals now because the space I don't have. So before I would keep them in the incubator until they shed. But now, because a lot of people know I use ambient in my room, that I didn't have any rack system with heat on it, but some of them already had heat built in. So my V18 PVC rack, I actually put the heat on there, and I have my hatchlings now set up in that situation so they can shed in there. And that's going back, and I haven't done that in almost 4 years, but I have to do it. Like it might get to a point where I might actually have to finish letting the eggs come out of the come out in the freaking in the rack too. So, but I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I have a backup incubator in the back room, but I might have to put that together. We'll see. But yeah, man, I'm maybe 50 clutches this year, bro.
Ooh, wow,
So
that's a lot of babies, man. Even
yeah, so I mean, thankfully, my Patreon, I move a lot of my stuff through Patreon, and that was the reason why I started it because I didn't have a whole lot of clutches throughout the years, and people were like, "Hey, man, like by the time you post the stuff on YouTube or whatever on Instagram, half the clutch is gone, all the good stuff is gone. How can we like mitigate that? So that's what. So the first time, was it when I got first time I got COVID? I think it was last year when I started the Patreon, and that was the main focus of it. And now, not only that, it just turns into like just a big community now on Instagram where we have like a bunch of group chats for the tiers, and we just like like-minded people that just talk shit about snakes all day, man. And it's not like it's not like a gossipy group chat and stuff like that too. Yeah, they're still bitching and complaining about it like everywhere else, but for the most part, it's like 99% snake focus. So everything from hey, can you help me ID this clutch to man, like my snake was yawning yesterday. What does that mean? You know what I mean? And we just all tackling that together.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, what's crazy about that incubator that he actually drove to my house to pick it up. Somebody was like they made a post online about a free like commercial refrigerator. And I was like, you mean like free? Because when you show up, she's like, oh, I require $100 rehoming fee. I'm like, it's not a fucking puppy. So
Jesus.
she was like, as long as you can haul it away. So I got some friends, man, got us some tamales and some beers, and we brought it in there. But then I was getting some more racks because that's when I absorbed my friend's collection who passed away last. But I had no way to get the racks from North Carolina to here. So I had to like buy some like emergency PVC racks. And I traded him that big ass incubator for a bunch of FB40 tubs, and he gave me like I think 40 or 50 of them. So to me, it was like a super fair trade. And now my man Jerome is killing me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second, but you're back now.
Okay, yeah, because these AirPods are acting up weird. So if it falls off, I'll just go back to just the raw camera if we have that problem again, and just like give me a sign if you can't hear me. So yeah, just real big breeding season, man. I'm excited and scared. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So what's crazy about this year is I was so lucky with possible hex over the years that I raised my stuff because like I normally won't buy 50% hex unless that gene is like a byproduct of something else that's what I mean. If it's a major gene and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take it. But I produced some Posset pods and Posset clowns that had like red stripe and other genes in them too. And this year, nothing proved out.
Oh,
Nothing proved out. I'm gonna switch over because you probably can hear me, but I can't hear you. So let me switch.
good now?
How's that?
You're a little quiet.
See, I can't hear
It's all
you
good.
now.
Yeah, you're cutting out. I don't know if you're trying to connect to your AirPods or what. Oh. Anyway, I'm sure he'll be back. I know Antoine isn't exactly. He doesn't exactly have a problem with figuring out technology, so I'm sure that won't be a big problem. Yeah. Anyway, guys. So one thing I wanted to mention at the beginning, and I kind of just talked a little bit too long, and this is a perfect opportunity. Antoine's already been on before, and he's actually already back. Yeah, he's already back. Look at that. But already
All right,
back.
how's that?
You're a lot better now.
Okay, yeah, fuck those headphones.
Sorry, Antoine, just one sec. I was just saying, yeah, you've already been on once before. I've already asked you most of our base questions. So I'm going to be taking a lot of questions for you this time from the chat. I do have a couple that I added on after you were on that first episode. Obviously, we can go through those too. But yeah, guys, if anybody has any questions for Antoine, like please ask him. We'll try and get to as many as we can. But one thing I want to kind of roll back to real quick, like, so you're looking at 50 clutches, you think? So if anybody doesn't grasp exactly how big that is, even if he averaged 4 eggs in every one of those clutches, and that's small. I assume most of them are bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Only 4 eggs in every clutch. That's 200 hatchlings. That's a lot.
I didn't think of it like that. Now I'm fucking sweating.
So, but that it's important too, though, right? Because a lot of people don't seem to realize, like, they'll have one year where they'll have a couple clutches, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm ready, and they'll ramp up. And if you go from 3 to 4 clutches to 20 clutches, it's a significant workload increase.
Yeah, what's funny about that is too, like, every podcast or live I've been on in the past 2 years, you always heard me say, yeah, I'll never do a reptile show. Shit. Next month, I'm in Anaheim vending for the first time with Josh from Ball Python Shed. So we're sharing a booth. So, I get to have, he's get to have a booth full of like really, really cool stuff. And I get to have a side booth of like really mediocre shit.
I don't know, man. Some of the stuff you've been hatching already is pretty decent. That pastel, what is it, pastel asphalt lab?
Which one?
The pastel asphalt lab you hit?
Oh yeah, the pastel asphalt lavender. Yeah, I'm 99% sure that's what it is too. Yeah, I think it's shed. I'm not sure yet. It's still hanging in there. I'll like separate them this weekend, but that's what I wanted. So I'm glad too because I sold the dad. So
I don't know, man. It doesn't look like any pastel lab I've ever seen hatch. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen pastel yellow belly lavenders hatch, but it doesn't look like pastel lab to me. So,
most anticipated clutch this season.
From Don, my buddy who also caught COVID. Hope you feel better because this sucks.
So I go back and forth between the Ultramel Batman and the Sunset Puzzle. It's always like a toss between that. So,
the Sunset
and with the
got that directly from Miguel, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I mean, the odds of hitting that is like 1 in 16 for that. And then the Ultramel Batman is 1 in 64.
Oh, damn.
So I've been getting my ass kicked with 1 in 4 and 1 in 8. But not really so on the good end of 1 in 8 and 1 in 4, not the other end, because with those breedings, you got the same odds of hitting the normal as you do, the best thing. But yeah, I've been getting bitch slapped, man. So, and you got to think about it too, man. Like, hey, you ever played Dungeons and Dragons before?
Oh yeah.
So was it like, is it 16 side die or 20 side die or both?
It's a well, there's so what is it? There's 4, 6, 8, 12, and 20, I believe.
So take like if you had a 16 side die, think about it. Like if you roll one of those and the 1 being a normal and the 16 being a double recessive, imagine rolling that. How many times you gonna roll that till you hit the number 16? You might never fucking hit it,
The funniest thing about that too is your odds are just as good to hit 16 4 in a row as hitting 3, 4, 2, and 1. Like,
the odds guys don't like me that much.
But you know what?
Like, sit your ass down, buddy. No.
You're fighting those bigger clutches. Maybe you're just the odds gods are just holding on to them.
Yeah. So let me turn this down. Hold on. Give me a second. This humming fan and shit is killing me.
That's
my luck. I will roll a 0.
A natural 1 is a botch. That's a pretty bad thing to roll. So a 1's bad enough. We got another question from Back Balls. That's Mike from up here with us in Canada. If you could have skipped one part of this hobby / business, what would it be?
So early on, I went through this whole bit. So like before we had, YouTube got big and, Facebook and things like that too. We had these forums here in the US. We had like the forums and fauna classifieds and like the Bush League forums, and like all those old school reptile groups. And in those forums, it wasn't hey, let me help you out. This is what I'm doing with my business. This is how you thrive. It was, look what I have and how much better than you I am. So buy my snakes and that's it. No, I won't teach you how to sex your animals. If you don't know what your temperature should be, you shouldn't own them. You know, so it was just that. And then it was just so many people back then, like doing everybody dirty. Like there was a time when people would get like bananas and GHIs or some of those big price animals where they were like selling them with damaged hemipenes and purposely doing it so that way you wouldn't come back and breed yours later. And now you're in competition with them. So it was just such a super, super dark side of the hobby that really I just was kind of there in the mix. You know what I mean? I was just kind of I had a couple like simple ball pythons. I was watching Brian Barczyk videos and I didn't really try to thrive as like a business or entity. It was just me just being there trying to figure out if and how I could ever fit into this. So, but 90% of those guys are gone now, you know what I mean? And there's a whole new like dichotomy of the way we do things now in this hobby. And that's why I'm super grateful for it, man. I'm glad to be part of it.
And it's funny too, because you actually just took the words right out of my mouth. If I had to answer that question, it's going to go the same way. I've talked about this before a few times, but I was in the hobby once before in the late like 2010s, and literally how people treated each other is one of the reasons I stopped being in the hobby the first time. And yeah, honestly, like there were people not only not actively helping each other, but going out of their way to try to make others fail. And just it was such a, I can't even think of the word, but it was such a shitty feeling, especially when something would go wrong or you wouldn't know something that you could have easily been told, and just, you know what I mean, like to fail due to something that could have been very easily avoided. It was just so disheartening. So to come back into the hobby and it basically have turned completely upside down. It's the opposite.
Dude, I used to be afraid to ask questions. Like
Yep.
I would have to like go on Craigslist and find people that were selling snakes and then kind of like see what their experience level was. And then kind of like slowly but surely ease myself into like a mentee position with them. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'm just trying to come by and I do this. And I like buy some stuff from them too, just kind of establish a relationship with them. And then I'll have all the questions face to face, man. Because if I get stuck somewhere and make a post online on one of those forums and to someone else, it was like a rookie question. I'm like, yes, because I'm a rookie, bitch. Like, what do you mean? Yes, sir. I will be vending in Anaheim. I'm sharing a table with Josh from Ball Python Shed. So
I know you brought.
I'm excited about that. I need to go ahead and buy my freaking step and repeat banner like tonight. Thanks for reminding me. What's up, Rick? How's it going?
I've been meaning to buy a couple banners and I just keep blanking on it. Since I'm going to be stuck at home all weekend, I should probably take that opportunity to do that.
I found the same company that does our stuff for my fight promotion for 559 fights. They do them too. He was like, there's like a 3 or 4 day turnaround. So it's more expensive than a lot of them. I think he wants like $500, but they come out really great and they're not where you have to like steam them to stretch them out. They like come with the frame. The frame is perfectly, you zip the bottom of it too, so it stays super straight. So I'm excited about that, but I'm trying to figure out if I'm just going to do an all white background, my logo in the middle, or do a whole bunch of high desert. You know what I mean? It's just that part right there. Like I want it to be catchy, but I don't want it to be an eyesore. And there's always that, you know.
It's tough too, right? Because like on one hand, you kind of want just your logo with a stark background so people can see it from the other end. But at the same time, you're like, man, that doesn't really show what I'm about, right? So tough.
So, but I mean, I'm just glad that I can actually come and bring some animals out there to the show that like can show the work I'm putting in. I'm gonna have some like lower end stuff like the clutches that didn't prove out, but they'll be like 100% hex. But I'm actually bringing some DG and enhancer head clowns too. So I'm keeping a bunch of females back, but I'll have maybe 1 or 2 females on the table and some males too. So I have some pastel DG het clowns and some lemon blast het clowns to sell too, and they'll be pots at G Stripe too. So
is that are those animals from you got the dad from Billy, correct?
So I bought two powerful males from Billy. The first one last year was an enhancer. I bought him as an enhancer het clown Posset G-stripe,
Right.
but he proved out his very first clutch to be het G-stripe too.
Right.
And then I bought a Lemon Blast clown het enhancer Posset G-stripe from him too. And that's when I'm breeding to the enhancer G-stripe that I bought from him now. So I'm making like guaranteed triple hets with that. And if he does prove out, he's also breeding to another G-stripe too. So I got a couple chances to hit that. So
That's
and
sick.
it was funny because that clutch that I put him with the enhancer to the G-stripe, I couldn't move that clutch for shit because I only wanted to keep 100% triple hets myself. So I had visual G-stripes, 100% head enhancer, Posset clowns, the whole clutch set in my rack for like 3 months. The moment Justin posted that video with the visual enhancer G-stripe clown, the red stripe spot nose, right away, boom, gone. I sold a pair one day and then the rest of the clutch to one person the next day. So what do you believe is a non-recessive staple gene that every collection needs at least one of?
Yeah, that's one of our
motherfucking asphalt, biatch. Asphalt is my favorite non-recessive gene. So yeah, so I'm slowly but surely moving Yellow Belly out of the collection. Just because, you know, sometimes it's hard to catch Yellow Belly complex animals with certain genes. So like I found out whenever I use lavender albino with stuff, with certain females, is the asphalt's always low expression. So with this clutch here I have back, I think I have some pastel asphalts too. So I'm gonna have to like really, really look at them after they shed and decide what I want to keep back. But when I put them to like the Dreamsicle project, it looked crazy. Like the one male, he almost looks like a lace. Like it's have you seen that male?
Yes.
Like last year.
I'm pretty sure I have.
I'm gonna grab him real quick. He's an asshole, so he might embarrass me on the camera. But give me a second.
We haven't had a lot of snakes showing off on here, so this is great. Gonna jump over to each question for
so let me see and get the right camera.
Oh man, yeah, look at the belly on that.
But even like the top pattern too, like and this is just supposed to be an asphalt het pied, possible het lav.
Oh, dude, I have an Enchi asphalt het pied that isn't as nice as that. Like,
so I got one of those too. Let me see.
My Enchi asphalt het pied is nice too, but yours, that thing's beautiful. Now it's
a female Enchi asphalt het pied.
That actually looks like my Enchi asphalt girl, but that's
so this is one of the genes too where I've been able to identify the difference between Enchi yellow bellies and Enchi asphalts. Like I hate when people say, "Oh, I can easily eyeball it and tell you the difference" and all that shit like that too. But a lot of times when you do mix with other genes, it like the Enchi and asphalt together makes like it rust out a little bit, you know, where the Enchi yellow belly to me stays a little bit brighter. So whenever I have 50-50s, I always keep I keep them to about maybe 300-400 grams, and then I'll like kind of start weeding them out and keeping them back and stuff too. But this guy, man, like this is a simple thing, but this is my favorite animal I made last year, and I made fucking hurricane clowns last year.
It's kind of funny.
Funniest expo story. Hold on a second. Let me put him up. I got one for you.
He's excited.
You got one, or you want me to go?
Go ahead. I don't have funny stories. I'd say my funniest story was probably catching COVID at the one on Sunday. So you could go ahead.
All right. So this was the first Arlington after the pandemic when everything opened back up. Justin had a table, obviously, so you know everybody's hounding him and stuff like that too. And Justin really doesn't go to shows to sell animals. He goes to show some cool projects, to network, and you know what I mean, like be part of the community. You know what I mean? So which is awesome too, because he doesn't have to do it. Was that?
Right? He brings a couple to sell, but he mostly goes to network. Like,
yep,
go off and.
So he had a female that was about 400 grams. It was a red stripe, yellow belly, mahogany clown. And with him, he had like the males with blue writing, the females in pink writing, and then like the not for sale stuff in white, you know? Yep. So I goes, "Hey, how much would that girl be?" And he just goes, I don't know, whatever. He was like, I haven't really thought about it because she's not for sale. I'm like, well, humor me. What would you price her at? Whatever, like that, you know? So he just like kind of just straight blew me off about the whole situation, right? And I'm like, are we like beefing or some shit? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So at this point, I'm already making up this bullshit in my head or whatever, right? Like, so I'm like, I don't like him. So so I take a lunch break and I go to Olive Garden out there to get some food or whatever like that. I'm hanging out with a friend. And then when I was there, it was Andrew and Jerome was there too, right? You know, from No Limit and from Redwood, right? So I go there, I get a text message, and written on the thing with a mahogany wrench like Everybody Clown was, sold Jerome No Limit Royals. So I turned my phone off, Ubered back to the venue, and stormed beeline straight to there with the intent of dumping Chase and Justin on their fucking heads. So I get up there, and Jerome, Andrew, fucking Justin, and Chase are on the floor dying because to see how heated I am, and they fucking played a prank on me, and Justin was all about it. So that was a real big joke on my experience. I was just like, "Fuck, man." So yeah, it was.
Wouldn't expect that from Justin.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Because I was at like when I saw that text, I was like a 10 anger, and I was like, and I'm like, okay, there's obviously an issue with he and I, so I'm gonna figure out what the fuck it is, you know? Like, I was like, there's obviously a problem here, some kind of miscommunication somewhere, but we very rarely interact with each other up until that point ever, you know? Like, before then, I've never even bought a steak from him, maybe talked to him 2 or 3 times, but he knew who I was at the show. I was like, hi, man. He goes, man, I know who you are, you know what I mean? I thought everything was cool, and then, like, it was just super weird, and I showed up and they were fucking dying. Like, everyone at the table would just fucking point at it, and I was like, you fuckers got me. So I think that was the best time at a show.
That's actually that's pretty funny. I was gonna ask you something and I forgot, so I'm gonna just jump to this, and then hopefully I remember. Bax's balls again. What do you think of Sentinel/Paint?
I like it. I just don't have it yet. I just don't know where it will fit in my collection, you know, because I have like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say I have the specific route that I want to go. No, I'd be full of shit if I said that. I have a route that I'm trying to go towards, and I don't see yet how Paint or Sentinel goes into it. And I just don't have the room for a couple of more side projects just yet until I move. So I think it's a dope project, something that if you have the room to get into it, but yeah, just right now I don't have it, so I really can't talk much about working with it.
So he just dropped another comment, and I'm just gonna do this to give a shout out to a buddy of mine. He just said he saw Nate, who's Sundial Reptiles. He's actually been on this show before. Buddy, he lives about a couple hours away from me up here in Canada, and yeah, he has some amazing Sentinel stuff. I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like, I love it. I think it's really cool. I'm already so overwhelmed. Well, I shouldn't say overwhelmed, but I'd say I'm at like a 9 out of 10 in terms of like what I can handle, I guess is the best way to put it, like in terms of workload. And to bring in another whole recessive project is going to add a lot of animals to that already workload.
The only recessive project that I want that I don't have in my collection yet is Monsoon, but they'll be here in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so
a few pairings that might make us some Monsoons. I have a bunch of Posset stuff from before Billy even realized he had it.
Yeah.
We have a ton of stuff from that that should mostly all be going this year. I have a male I held back from our Het Monsoon male, and then our breeder male is with Mordex ball pythons because they have a few hets. So honestly, I totally forgot that I might make Monsoon. Like, until you just said that, I totally forgot I had that option.
Well, this pair, they're a possible double het Monsoon Desert Ghost. So, and they have all like the markers, like the low eye stripes and the weird pattern. Like, they're gonna prove out. So even like before they grow up and do whatever they're gonna do, I'm gonna take that male to a lot of other recessive stuff too. So he'll be going to like clown pod females and G-stripe clown stuff.
I feel like there's something here, and there's a reason he's asking this.
Fuck Hidden G. Okay, let's talk about the backstory with Hidden Gene Woma.
Please.
It's not a bad gene. It's the worst fucking name in the world.
Wait, hold on. Are you claiming that Hidden Gene Woma is a worse name than Het Ready Xanthic?
Yes.
Oh.
I can deal with Het Ready Xanthic more than I can deal with Hidden Gene Woma. And guess what? I got some Hidden Gene Woma stuff here in the collection. But it's part of a fucking even worse name. I got a Soul Sucker, Spot Nose, Cinnamon. I don't even know what's all in it. But so there was this big thing about that a couple of months back, right? So do you ever see the meme where the guy is like, it's like my FBI agent listening to me. He's like pulling his headphones off. He looks super frustrated. So I put, whenever I hear Hidden Gene Woma, oh my God, the fucking commenters came out. I think that's my most commented video that I have. People were tagging Kevin in it. Nerd, he doesn't like Eugene. And then people were showing me like their Hidden Gene Woma bullshits and everything like that. I'm just like, dude, I don't have to like everything you like. And it's just a fucking meme. So then someone commented, oh, what an ignorant way to post something to clout chase. I'm like, to clout chase. So now I look at this fucker's Instagram because I didn't know who he was. He's got pictures of him with snake bites. I'm in the hospital from fucking boa. I'm like, yeah, you know? And I screenshot that shit too, just so I can use it later. Fucking, yeah, it's just to me. So
also,
the Hidden Gene Woma clown, I saw that in person a year ago. I actually liked it. So I think it's something you can have in lieu of like Spot Nose if you want some crazy pattern stuff. But it's just, I just feel like whenever I hear somebody say they have something like a Hidden Gene Woma, I feel like it's a bad weed salesman trying to sell me some shitty fucking dime bag with nice like full of seeds and stems, and they're trying to make it better than what it really is. And that's just the truth.
This is hurting my stomach a little bit. This is great. Okay. So that's another thing we should touch on, man. Your fucking memes are gold. Like, it's fucking great.
It's called boredom when I'm fucking.
I usually just got it so I can go back and look at it later just to make myself laugh.
Yeah. Ever since I started getting paid on Instagram, I just started making more like reels and stupid shit like that and everything. So, Instagram. If I have as many chances as I want inside of 30 days to get 11 million views total, and it caps out at like $1,500. So,
oh wow,
like as long as I I give him my son, because he's 19, he's part of this newer generation of what they like, and he helps me pick my songs in the background and what does what too. And the look of embarrassment on this child's face when he's recording me doing this stupid shit on these videos is priceless. Like, did you see the bat one for US Arc? The US Arc bat one when I called it to me like Thor's hammer, and he almost disowned me that day. Holy shit!
Oh man, why is it not let there we go.
Oh, so yeah, man, it's fun. And then truth be told, a lot of times I'll see these crazy memes somewhere in some other context and go, hey, how can I apply this to the ball python world? But I would never post it on my personal stuff because no one else would know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, get out of here, nerd.
Honestly, if I had to get rid of everybody that I followed on Instagram, and I need people to understand that I mean this, not because I'm dissing what anybody's making or anything like that. If I was only allowed to keep 2 people on my snake Instagram, like breeders, it would probably be you and Anna Kirby.
And who? Anna
Kirby.
Yeah, Anna's my girl, man. She's dope.
Just for the entertainment, like it's all gold. I'm sorry, it's just all great. Like,
dude, her rant the other night was so great, dude. When she was like, "Oh, guys just send you stuff because they think you're hot," and all that. Oh my god, dude, yeah, that was great, bro.
Pete, of course I hate everybody. That's it's who I am as a person. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over 1 second, Antoine, to another question.
Okay.
One have we not done? Oh, damn. Okay, so we've been talking about everything that's going on this year, and you have some big stuff going on that some people are probably half a decade out from themselves. What are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years? If you're hitting this
at the latest, this time next year, I'll be in Georgia. So outside of the contract work I do now, I work on military aircraft, and I'm retiring in 2 years. So I'm at a point in my life now that I'm 40. Ugh, I fucking hate saying that out loud. I'm 40, but I think I'm done working for other people, man. Like, I really am. I'm just so over it, like, in the money, like seeing a paycheck every 2 weeks, that same amount, and knowing what's coming in is cool and all like that too. But I have so many other skill sets where if I'm flourishing, like if I'm making a decent living with those in California, I could go anywhere else in the country and do just as fine, if not better, So I thought about it long and hard. Texas was the front runner for a long time, but my jiu-jitsu affiliation, like the headquarters, is in Georgia. So that's Alliance headquarters with Homero Jacare Cavalcanti. That's his place there. So I'll be getting all my degrees and stripes under him. So I'm moving to the Cleveland, Gainesville area where Justin is at. So I'll be an hour away from Atlanta, and I'll be in that area where Mike's Direct is. And I already talked to guys from Mike's Direct, and he was like, dude, if you move here, we'll make sure we'll hook you up with all the feeders you need and stuff like that too. We'll figure something out. I mean, I hopefully figure something out, come work and clean up rat shit for fucking 3 times a day, because I'm not doing that. But I just think professionally, for my 2 main endeavors, that's a good central place to be, So, and and over the past year, me and Justin became really good friends, We talk a whole lot too, and I pretty much visit when I feel like it. So he's like, hey, I got some new stuff, come check it out. I'm like, all right, So and that's a good and that's a pretty good damn person to be aligned with, So I can't be mad at that. So a lot of people are like, oh, you just going to Georgia to be near Justin? Yeah. Okay.
Honesty, guys. Got it. Just say
that's it. But Bob's also there too. Bob is a beast, is a titan in his own right. And there's a lot of good breeders in Georgia, man. You got Rashad from 212. You got Amani from from Nubian Exotics. You got Keisha from Splash Pack Reptiles, and she's a quiet assassin, bro. Her collection, she's got female clown combos, grown as fuck right now, 3 and 4 years old. She's just producing crazy stuff with DG clown stuff coming up soon. You know what I mean? She's killing it, man. So and they're all really good friends. Everybody I mentioned too. So I can reach out to all of those guys during my transition from California to here, and all of them say they had no problem helping me out and getting my stuff together. But as far as reptile wise, so I'll be doing that move, and then with the animals, at the 5-year mark, at the peak of the end of that too, most of my collection will be at the very least double recessive females in the next 5 years. So, that's the goal with that too. And hopefully by then I've hit the sunset puzzle multiple times, and it's an awesome fucking animal, not just some dirty doodoo brown snake and shit that you're only buying it because of the genetic power. So hopefully it looks great. You know what I mean? And I actually think that since we got to see the GHI puzzle, that it'll give us a kind of basis of what the sunset puzzle will look like, because I always said that the GHI and the sunset had similar patterns, just not the same color. Sometimes you was to me anyway, when you see some of the sunset pattern, the flaming in between, the alien heads and stuff too. To me, GHI and sunset always had that same thing for me. So hopefully we have the red aspect of the sunset offsets the yellowing of the puzzle, and it keeps it bright a little bit longer. But I would still prefer to have the puzzle eye stripes and everything like that too, So if I get the puzzle eye stripes and the yellowing, but with the sunset pattern, I'd be dope. That'd be dope. So, but I mean, we do this because we don't know, you know? So
see how they interact together, because there's lots of examples of similar genes acting very differently in the same combos, right? Things like lesser and bamboo, they're very similar genetically, and even certain combos look very similar, but you put up a lesser clown to a bamboo clown, and bamboo clown kills it 10 times out of 10.
Yep.
So
that's the other gene I hate too, bamboo.
I don't have any.
More like bamboo. Not playing. All right, I'm gonna stop.
That was great.
Bamboo's all right. It's just not my cup of tea either. It's just so many Bell stuff. You know what I mean? It just, to me, just limits what you can do with it too. That's all. But like, I do like Lesser. That's like my preferred Bell, and then second place is Mojave. You know, so, but Bamboo Clowns, when they came out, I was like, okay, I like it. But I mean, it's very, very hard to put something with Clown and not like it, you know. So there's a couple of there are stuff I don't like with Clown. Like, I don't like Tri-Stripe Clown. I don't see the point. It's just like double genetic blackbacks that interact differently. I was hoping that when you put Tri-Stripe and Clown together, that it do the same thing that G-Stripe did, just like diagonal the lines and break it apart too, you know. But unfortunately, I just think that that's just two layers just hanging on top of each other, man.
One thing that I find really funny, the fact that the Tri-Stripe Clown, something that everybody was like, oh man, it's going to be unreal, it's going to be incredible, like it's going to be the next best thing, came out and everyone was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, G-Stripe Clown just like, oh, by the way, boom. Like,
yep. Dude, there was a time where you couldn't pay me to take somebody's G-Stripe from because I think what it was though, I think I saw a bad example of the G-Stripe Clown. The first one I saw, it wasn't the one that Ninja Balls made. It was just like somebody else's that maybe it was just a bad picture or lighted, and it just really didn't do anything for me. I didn't like it. And who has Bamboo Puzzles? Great combo. The Bamboozle, yeah, that's what it's called, right? The Bamboozle, yeah.
Okay, now I like it. That's amazing.
That's dope, right?
A good name can win me over real quick.
Yep.
Just
fucking.
I will never buy anything Wookiee because I hate Star Wars.
I'm logging off. You don't like Star Wars?
No, I cannot. I just can't, man. Oh, like,
you like Dungeons and Dragons. What the fuck?
And
what?
It's not like I'm one of those like, oh yeah, Star Trek, fuck Star Wars. Like, I don't like Star Trek either.
I guess, man. Honestly, it took me a long time to come around too, because Star Wars wasn't my generation. So it was like when I was coming up as a kid, the closest thing I had in real time to Star Wars was the Ewoks cartoon. So I don't know if you remember that, but
I think that might actually be my issue too, is because by the time I was born and like old enough to like appreciate it, it was a little too in the past. You know what I mean? Like, so at the time I was like, this is kind of
it just wasn't your generation, man. It just skipped.
But then the new Star Wars that I got introduced to was all the crappy prequel shit. So, and I was like, nope, fuck it, I'm done. Like,
dude, I still enjoyed the Mandalorian series better than every other Star Wars thing ever. So his jaw dropped. I'm not a fan of Star Wars either. No, fucking Steven. See, I was gonna come to Steven's house this week and ultrasound some animals. Changed my mind on that. What other species makes you stop and go damn every time you see it? Bolins. That's fucking.
Oh man, my answer. Bolins are amazing.
When they figure out, when they get the breeding of those bad boys down packed, when they have like a real good concise care sheet and stuff too, I'm not paying $10,000 for one. I like them from afar.
I'm in the same boat. I've been waiting. I really, really hope that they get it down the next couple of years, because I'd love to own one day. They're just incredible looking animals.
What I might do, if I do start like a mobile thing where I'm like, because now some of my snakes here that when I skip a season or they're trying to rebuild, I take some of my bigger reptiles to parties. So I take them to like birthday parties or school presentations and things like that too. Some of my snakes have been in music videos, and I have a lot of like Instagram models who are like want to do photo shoots with reptiles too. So they make money other ways too. Like I got a 5-year-old albino pied. She would not get up to size. she would not get up to size. And then like, I may never breed her, you know what I mean? But I really, really like her. She's a super cool, docile snake. She's awesome to have, you know what I mean? And she takes really good pictures. And she's my poor man's dreamsicle, because I had so many dreamsicle projects the past couple of years where I never hit the odds on. I told you what happened with that dreamsicle project, right?
I don't think so.
So it's a double het dreamsicle male and a lavender albino, a het lavender female, 66% het pied. I bred them 3 times, never got any visual pies, at least, so didn't hit any dreamsicles. I sold them after 3 years of trying. The guy hit 3 visual dreamsicles his first year.
No fucking way.
I sold the pair for like $400. So you know the Red Skull from Marvel, the way it says like, I guide others to a treasure I can't. That's me.
Oh man. Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask you about a little bit earlier. So yesterday I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw somebody ask about what a good combo would be for a tiger. Which, if anybody is unaware of what a tiger is, it's an Enchi desert. Not desert ghost, desert.
Desert.
Antoine knows a little bit about desert. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Did you kind of want to talk about your experience with that gene?
So I thought that desert was going to be the gene that revolutionized ball pythons, like so much where at one point desert made up 75 to 80% of my collection. So when the GHI gene was going like real crazy in price still, where they were still, I think when they first came out, they probably was like 30 grand, then fizzled out to about 15, 20,000. I had a son off the first generation of the 2 GHI males that came in. Antoine, like, why you got to bring up desert? Yeah, for real. So I was like, you know what? I didn't really care for the GHI gene as much back then, because, you know, back in the early 2000s, it wasn't, people wasn't like stacking genes and there were no GHI pies or GHI clowns and, you know, things like that too. So for what we saw, it was very limited. So to me, okay, it was a dark gene. What of it? Okay, it's going to be hard to see other stuff in it because I didn't have the yellow belly eye yet. I didn't have really that eye to, to check other stuff. So I found the guy selling his collection. It was like, his wife was like, either the snakes go or I go. So he sold a bunch of his snakes, and I talked him down to getting a GHI male for $4 grand. And I think he initially had it for like maybe 15,000 or some crazy shit like that. But he like needed it to go right then and there. So I was like, hey man, I can send you 4,000 right now. Boom. Got the animal, raised him up, put him to a bunch of stuff like that his first season. And all I did was I was like, okay, I can sell this for this amount of money, or we could trade for some desert stuff. You should have sold the wife. Yes.
Okay, that's good.
So I picked up a lot of desert female like combo stuff too. So I had maybe like 10 tiger females growing up and a bunch of other combos, pastel desert, Enchi desert, Mojave desert, or desert Mojave, or whatever too. And I got to the point where I was raising everything up, and I was going to take all of those combo females and put them to recessives. So back then, I picked up a clown male. He was like $1,000 for a single gene clown male. I bought a clown pied pairing, which I thought was a clown pied pairing, but it was it's supposed to be a pied het clown to a female triple het hypo clown pied. I bred them 3 times. I paid $3 grand for that pair and never produced a pied or a clown from there either. And that's with a 1 in 2 chance of hitting visual nothing. So I paid $3,000 for a male pied and a normal female. So anyway, I digress. So the season they were all going to go. So they're about 2.5, 3 years in. They averaged about anywhere between 1,450 to 1,900 grams. That's when Justin's Ball Street Journal entry came up where he was hearing a bunch of hearsay about it, but he did experiment himself and concluded that, they couldn't lay. And a lot of those people come to find out that I was buying desert stuff from, they knew already.
I didn't know that.
They knew already, and they just was like, "Oh, here's this sucker here that's going to help me unload this desert stuff," you know. So, and that's why now the big lesson from that was just learning to diversify your collection. There's a lot of stuff I do like, so I don't have all my eggs in the clown or desert ghost or prior to. I have a bunch of multi-recessive stuff. I'm hitting from a bunch of different directions, all to hit like some major snakes in the future, you know. So, one thing I learned a couple years ago, like in 2016, like I got the Pompeii poster up here too, not because I want to make a Pompeii, but the first time I saw the animal and I found out the genes in it, I said to myself, what can I do to improve on it? The first thing I'm doing, oh, yellow belly, you know what's going instead of yellow belly? Motherfucking asphalt, you know? So then, you know, and then some of the other genes too, like with spot nose, whatever too. I said, you know what? I have a line I'm doing spot nose with, but I like hurricane too. So now, you know, just having my multi-gene project now, so I have my own, you know, clown project outside of DG and stuff like that too. That's the Hellbender project. So, because in my head, when you do all these darker morphs together with it, it's gonna look like a Hellbender salamander, you know. So, and that's the Stranger GHI Spot Nose Red Stripe Asphalt Hurricane Clown. So that's
Oh, is that?
That's it. Just that. That's it.
Okay.
So, but even though it's that many genes in the clown, I'm hitting it from so many directions that, you know what I mean? Like when it's time to put everything together to hit it, I'll have like right now, I think doing the math on that, I can have like maybe 10 to 15 different breedings where I'm all trying to hit that. And when I miss, it's still going to be a bunch of stuff that doesn't exist already, you know? So how many Stranger Hurricane Clowns have you seen? I've seen one, and it was in DG, fucking Levance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
we were in Tinley, and I was like, yeah, Levance, I bet you ain't hit Stranger Hurricane yet. He goes, huh, shit, I got it in DG Clown. What you talking about? I was like, I fucking hate you, yo.
That guy must have some sort of cheat code. Like, I swear, the stuff he makes is just insane. And then
he's an assassin, dude. It's just like you just can't. I mean, he has like he doesn't talk about a lot of his stuff, man. He just kind of goes, he's put stuff aside, holds back a lot of stuff, and a lot of people complain about his prices. But I was like, I understand where he's coming from those prices now, because this is what it's going to cost to get this animal out of my house. If it doesn't move, I will gladly keep it. Yep. And I learned that from Bob Vu the past couple of years too, because he has stuff like that too, you know, like he had projects that he'll bring to a show and put some exorbitant price on it. And then when people standing over there too much stroking their beard, he starts sweating bullets and shitting himself because he's got to move it. And I'm like, yo, you should have just kept it home. He's like, but it's 30 grand. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Everybody has that one breeder that they admire a little bit more than everybody else. And I've said it many times, Levance is that guy for me. I know there's a lot of big guys out there, and dude, I work for Billy. I love Billy too. But there's just something about Levance's collection and the way he carries himself and the way, you know, he does his business. I respect the shit out of the guy.
I fucked up when I saw him at Tinley because you know, every show I've gone to the past 2 years, I was trying to find an asphalt clown. Nobody's selling asphalt clowns, you know. He has it up there, decent size, you know, yearling asphalt clown, and my eyes just light up. So he's standing in the corner, he sees me moving everybody out of the way. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here, whatever, too. So he could have said, you know what, Antoine, that was a typo on there. That's not $3,000. That shit is $5,000, and I still would have paid for it. Reason being is because it's a key ingredient to my projects, to where if I buy a het, it'll just take too much time to build stuff up too, you know. So that asphalt clown I got from him, he's going to 2 visual pies just to make some asphalt double hets to hold back. He's going to the Inchy asphalt het pie girl just to have some super asphalt het clowns to play with. He's going with a gravel het clown, a yellow belly het clown, and my red stripe. So he'll have a lot of those to deal with in the next season and a half. So since I just be sitting pretty, man, I have some super asphalt clown stuff. I mean, some pavement clowns, and you know, just some cool stuff to work with, man, and hit some super asphalt clown pies in the year and a half, and you know, so man, it's just. But I know I went all over the place for my answer. I don't even remember the original question. I just like fucking talking. So
it's all good, man. It's all good. Okay, let's jump into that, and then also, guys, keep dropping questions. It's already been an hour, and
so in addition to the failed desert project was that that pair of fake hats that I got. The one that's supposed to be a pied head clown, and then the triple head female. I paid $3,000 for possibly like $400 in animals. So, but it wasn't the last time I've got screwed over, and it won't. You know what I mean? And there'll be more. Like me and Billy got screwed over by the same guy 2 years ago. You know about that thing, right?
Which one was that?
Billy and I bought the same snake, the same exact animal from the same guy in
really?
Sacramento.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So remember when Billy went to Colombia, right? With his girl or whatever?
Yep.
Okay, so think about that time frame.
Oh,
Pre-COVID, right?
I remember that time frame very well, but probably for very different reasons. Continue.
So the guy in Sacramento, he was moving a lot of his collection, and I bought some stuff. I had some stuff from him still, like I got for him like years prior to that. So the male was a banana inchy clown het pied, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And he had a female pastel leopard clown het pied. So I bought the male. I sent him half the money through Zelle. And then he also had some equipment that he was getting out. So I got like a sea serpent rack from him and a bunch of other stuff. Another little rack, just, help him get some money to move, whatever. He was moving when I showed up there. So I get the animal and I look at it and I'm like, man, this is a lot paler than any inchy clown I've seen before. Like banana inchy clown. It just didn't have that rich banana-y inchy clown to it. And that should have been my first red flag. And I took him home. He died 3 weeks later. So he was in quarantine though. So which I quarantined the right way. He's in quarantine. Dead as a fucking doornail. I got him to eat in 3 weeks, maybe like a mouse fuzzy or something, like a mouse hopper. And he was like maybe 200 grams at the time. So turns out Billy bought that same male from him. And that female that he spent probably, I think, somewhere around $6,000 for that pair. So I get back to that in a second. So I go to call him to tell him what happened with the snake. The phone never answers. I go to his Facebook. That account doesn't exist anymore. I go to his IG or something too, all gone. So I had people in one of my group chats pull up his name and his profile pulls up. So he blocked me.
Oh,
so he blocked me on everything, like refused to answer my calls too. And now because he was moving when I picked up the animal, I have no idea where he lives now. And then the name he gave me he set up a fake account under a fake name. I think he uses like 2 kids' first names to make a fake like persona, just in case this happened, I guess. Even like his Bank of America Zelle name was like the fake name. So anyway, so now this animal's dead. Billy gets back from Colombia. Hey man, I'm ready to get these snakes. Nothing.
Oh, so Billy paid him for them already.
Yes.
Oh my God. So this dude double dipped, then sent you a fucking dying snake and disappeared.
Yep. So he beat us over the head. He got a good like $8,000+ between the two of us. So
that's fucking crazy.
That's crazy. People don't realize how small this world is, man. Like, it's just
Max's balls. Night dude. He said you should come. What he said, come down to the CRV. I think you mean.
Yeah. So that's September, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I talked to Billy earlier today, and I'm gonna definitely try to make it. Like, I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna come out. Huh?
He hung up on me for that, by the way.
Yeah, I was calling to check up on him, man, because of all that crap that happened today. But we'll get to that another time.
For this, man, there's some shit going on, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah. So. But like I knew it was BS the moment I saw it, whatever, too, because I know Billy well enough where something like this, he's just not gonna let go by the wayside too. So shout out to the homie Billy, man. Love you, bro. It's gonna be crazy. Fucking y'all thought this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard shit was wild. Wait till you see this shit. So
oh man,
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fucking wild though. Like I can't believe some of the drama that some people try to start. You know what I mean? Like to mention exactly what it is right now because I think that's.
But did you see? Do you follow that FBI page on Facebook though that talks about like the feedback and inquiry page?
I don't know if I'm on the new one. I know the one I was originally on got shut down. I'm on the Canadian one, but I don't.
So the original post was, we always talk about people who you would definitely buy from, recommend. Is there 3 people off the top of your head you would absolutely never buy from ever for whatever reason? So it turned to this big old defamatory post, and I could tell through all the posts that it was like, hey, my brother's cousin's uncle bought this animal from this guy. He didn't like him, so I'm gonna not recommend him. It's always like that because it was always like the Brian Barczyk people. Oh, don't buy from Barczyk because he has this and Brian Barczyk. It was just like it was all about that stuff, and then no, just a lot of the bigger names and stuff too. And it was like any breeder who rushes to breed their animals before they should. Those are the people we shouldn't buy from. I'm like, what you don't know is that if the animal can't breed, it won't, bitch. That's what it was. Ball pythons are weird like that. If some weird condition happens to the ball python's body, they're going to do 1 or 2 things. Go off for food and reabsorb some damn follicles. Tell you that fucking much, bro. They'll go, danger, danger, danger. I'm not moving around with this rat in my belly if I got to get the fuck out of here.
Their body knows a lot better than our fucking brains do.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, so it was just that. So you could tell it really wasn't an educated crowd. It was, well, okay, I'll take that back. It wasn't the people looking to turn their animals into a viable business and learning that aspect of it, And you can always tell with those people too, because those are the ones that's quick to bash someone else's business, because fucking if Mary in that group had Mary's Cupcakes and somebody left a 1-star Yelp review on her page, she'd probably blow her fucking brain out. But she can go into detail about her cousin not wanting to do business with such and such person because of some asinine reason that probably wasn't even their fault, So yeah, I mean that's one of my biggest fears, bro. Like to get a call like from 2 years ago. Oh, I had this animal that you gave me, and it had an RI. I'm like, how long ago did you have? Oh, like a year after you got it, it got sick, but it's probably came for your collection. There's some dumb shit like that, It's just weird. My worst customer so far, I sold someone some albino combo last season, and he told me, yeah, I had the animal. She only ate 1 time in 6 months. I'm like, how come you never contacted me? Well, I just figured, she'd get around to it eventually. I was like, well, what's your temperature? Well, I keep it in ambient, and it's like 72 degrees. I'm sorry, what?
Wait, what?
72 degrees Fahrenheit is what the thing was. I'm like, I can't function at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not an ectotherm, but 72 degrees, I'm not doing shit either,
Fuck.
He was expecting this baby. It was just so weird, man. And then he had the nerve after months later to say, well, can we have our money back? And I told him to go fuck himself. So I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that, bro.
I had a guy come back to me 2 months ago. I got mites from from the snake I got from you. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, if you don't know me as a breeder, I am terrified of any kind of bullshit like that, right? Like, I will strip the collection. I will call in sick for a week, and like, even if I think there might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before I even asked him any more questions, I just started ripping through bits. Started fucking full on panicking. Just like, what the fuck? There's no fucking way. Like, so I just started going through everything. And like, I have a lot of high white pies. I have a lot of ivories. I have a lot of lighter snakes. So I'm going through and I'm like, dude, like, I've seen collections with mites. I'm not even seeing traces that might possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, backtrack a little bit here. Like, okay, tell me what's going on. Tell me what happened. He's like, oh, well, I got your snake and then I got some more animals, but they're in a different part of the house. And the mites are only where I put your snake. And I was like, okay, well, can you tell me what happened after you picked up the animal? He's like, oh, well, I took it from you and I brought it to the pet store. And I was, I'm like, I just spent
Oh my God.
hours tearing through my collection.
I bought it to the pet. I bought it to the pet store.
So I had to like, I was seething, but I had to like dial it back in and be like, I'll tell you what, chances are it didn't come from me, but I'll still help you because I feel bad. Because obviously at this point, once I realized that, I was like, I don't realize what isn't a good idea. So I tried to talk him through it, but oh my God, the panic and the I don't even know, man. Like I was ready to lose it.
Yeah. Those fucking mites, man. It's been a long time since I had an issue because I keep the system the way I do now, and it's just like freaking.
Well, I'll just be honest. The first time I was in the hobby, this is back before people shared information and stuff like that. I had to deal with mites. I obviously didn't have as big of a collection as I have now, and none of the animals I have now came from that collection. I got completely out, and I was out for 5-6 years and came back. However, there were a few articles online about how to treat mites. That said, they weren't that great. Pam existed, but was there extensive care sheets on like how to use it and stuff like that? No. Do you know how many people I saw killing their animals while trying to treat for mites? Like, it was,
What advice do you guys have for new breeders? Any projects to start with? What's going on? Slime Balls Exotic. So, decide on what you want out of this hobby or industry first. Like figure out what your initial goal is. Do you want to make stuff that you think is cool? Do you actually eventually want to sell snakes, for a profitable business or what? So once you get that down, you decide the way you want to go with that. Then you start picking your projects based on that. So if all you want is to collect animals that you like, obviously, you can go into these projects and decide, one, can I afford it? And if not, I'm going to make them, So that's the two ways to do it. So make what you like first and decide if you can just buy them flat out or how long it's going to take. But from an investment standpoint, though, if you want to go to that same route, but actually make it a viable business, invest the money. You're not going to make any money in this industry if you don't. You're not going to buy a $500 fucking snake and make $10,000 off this $500 snake. It does not work that way. Mm-hmm. It does not work. The odds won't be in your favor. You'll have issues with the animals. You'll have eggs that go bad. The goal is to try to minimize all of those variables, like as fast as possible. There's I would have loved to not fucking have double het spot nose and leopard double het ultra male clown stuff to make this 1 in 64 animal. But show me where I could buy a leopard ultra male clown from in the spot nose ultra male clown, because I would gladly go that route and put them bitches together and then hit, what's that, a 1 and 2? Just to hit, because if you go visual to visual, it's 100%, and then it'd be leopard and spot nose on both sides, so you get normal leopard. Yeah, so 1 in 4, whatever. Yeah, I'd much rather hit 1 in 4 than 1 in 64 all fucking day.
Just a little better odds.
A little better odds, Shit. So you gotta go. That's the route you need to go. Like, you have to spend the money, man. Every time I try to do a shortcut in this industry, it's never worked. Everybody who has ready to breed right now 18 millimeter follicle females for sale. That's all you see,
My favorite is the once or twice a year, and you always see them looking for ready to breed pie, DG, clown. No, I need those. Fuck you.
Most of those people, I've seen people post are there any female DG clowns near close to breeding? And I'll be like, hey man, no disrespect, but can you afford a female ready to go DG clown? He goes, well, it can't be more than $5 or $6 grand. I said, excuse me? Babies are like fucking $15,000 ready to breed. I was like, I tell you what, sir, if you find a ready to breed Desert Ghost clown for sale, guess what? Something wrong with her.
Oh no, those are always the people that are like, well, I'm pretty sure I've seen one.
Yeah, no.
No, you have not.
No, this is freaking. Sometimes you'll look out where you get somebody's like backup male or female or something like that just laid, but no one in their right mind is going to sell a valuable right now where it's ready to go unless you sell it way over market value. You're not going to get a deal on that too, man. And that's another thing too, man. Whenever you see a deal that feels too good to be true, it 1000% is. It's always too good to be true. If someone's trying to sell you a $700 puzzle female that's a sub-adult, it's a scam. It's not some. It's like they're gonna show you, hey, I got this fucking inchy fucking enhancer female that's an adult, and in the background you see Mutation Creation in the back. He don't fucking work at Mutation Creation, you dummy. Fucking, it's a scam.
It's actually kind of funny. I had a guy. Was it earlier this year or late last year? When did Justin put out his first Stranger video?
That was like 2 years ago. The one where he had like the Stranger Things font from the TV show and stuff like that. It was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember, but whatever it was, somebody sent me a message and they're like, "Hey, would you be willing to sell your Stranger mail?" There was somebody up here in Canada. I honestly never heard from them again or heard them do anything. So. But anyway, they're like, "Oh, would you be willing to sell it?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Like, it's not even breeding for me yet. It's probably our biggest investment animal we've ever bought." And he's like, "Oh, what if I offered you $6,000 right now?" I was like, "Well, that would get started on almost."
He said 60 or 6?
$6,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
That would get you about 60% of the way to the first half of what you'd need to buy this animal. If it was for sale. Like, what? No. If you're going to go to a breeder and be like, "Hey, I want to buy this animal that I know you're not selling," at least go and look at what the value might be before you throw up.
Hey, are you looking in the comments? Hey, slime balls, let me know if I answered your question. If you got a satisfactory answer for that, or you want me to elaborate more.
I think he's looking for specific projects.
With my specific projects, if you can help it, to me, I say, like I said, if you like yellow belly complex stuff, I say go gravel or asphalt, depending on what you like. Just because, like I said, like earlier we talked about the odds of missing it in your pairings, and I'd much rather hit a super asphalt by accident than an ivory. So can you imagine me keeping yellow belly in that 7 gene clown I tried to make, and all of a sudden I got half a clutch full of ivory combos that's either worth fucking $2,000 or fucking $15,000?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just no. I much rather hit a fucking Stranger, Hurricane, Spot Nose, GHI, Red Stripe, Super Asphalt clown.
Yeah, and if you don't have a question, like if there's no question, if there's no yellow belly to start with, you don't have to worry.
Definitely too. Yeah, just go that route, and then in this specific projects, multi-recessive stuff, man, is the way for the future right now. So if you can't afford like visual double recessive stuff right now, get some visuals and make your own head stack, so that way unless you're getting them from like a reputable breeder. You know what I mean? Make your own double and triple heads and things like that, and hold back a lot of females, man. These projects, like, there's so many projects that people are getting into. They're doing this 1-to-1 ratio, 1 male, 1 female. So if you miss, you got to wait fucking 7 months to breed her again and go and go and go. Where I have a quad recessive project here, I have 2.4. So I have the male assigned to the 2 females this season, and then I'm going to cycle them around if they don't hit 2, so I can hit. And it's not the best. It's not the best quad recessive project because G-stripe pies, they get rid of a lot of pattern. So, but I want to figure out, when you have G-stripe clown and pie together, will they look more like the G-stripe clown, or will they saddle out the way G-stripe pies look, almost like pinstripe pies? So to me, I don't know if that clown will defeat the pie gene and mess it up. Because if I see an enhancer that looks like a G-stripe clown with a white ringer and this, I'll take that all day. But odds are, I don't know. We'll see though, and I'm gonna fucking experiment with it, and we'll see.
Okay, I'm Antoine. I'm gonna ask you one last question because I actually forgot. I have a Zoom call I have to jump on at 9, and I have a couple things I have to do.
Me too.
I figured you were going on too. but I also have to remedicate and make sure I'm not going to die for that. So one more thing, and it's the only reason I even thought to ask this is because of what you just mentioned. There was a discussion in my Discord yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, where somebody, I believe it was Cody from KTA Constrictors, brought up there was a Facebook post in some group, I didn't see it, he did, of some older or established breeders going on about how no, not first year, not third, whatever, just new breeders should not be breeding for double recessives. What, like, I don't understand why this old school mentality still exists. Like, who's holding on to
I mean, it could be strategy. Hey, I don't want anybody else getting this double. Like, they could be still playing chess and trying to block people off, because it could be some of those same old school people that were scumbags back in the early 2000s still trying to find ways to get rid of the competition, because now it's harder to sell their stuff, because at every reptile show you go to that I've been seeing, they still selling the same shit year after year after year. And so it could be that too. I mean, I honestly don't think those people are stupid. I honestly don't think. When you hear people come out and say, don't spend $5,000 on an animal because people aren't buying $5,000 animals now anyway, I don't think that's ignorance on their part. I think that's strategy. And in my heart of hearts, there's no way, if you have a semi-successful business thus far, you're not that fucking stupid. So in my head, it's fucking them trying to play chess and move a couple of moves ahead and fucking inception that into people's brains.
So you don't think it's stupid, you think it's shitty.
Yeah. It's
all right.
fucked up.
Answer, I like that. Randy, it could be because they don't realize exactly what they are making and missell by ignorance. Very possible.
I mean, if you're doing double recessive projects, it's kind of easy to tell what the.
Yeah, like I don't know many double recessives where you'd be popping them out like.
Dude, I was talking to Justin about this a couple months back. Imagine taking two animals, right, and the genes are complete genetic opposites of each other, and when you do the double recessive, it comes out normal. How fucked up would that be? Like, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, two different ends of the spectrum where, like, genetically they're like completely opposite of some kind of, like, you know what I mean? And then you think you missed on the double visual, but you just made a normal that carries both of their fucking genes.
Yeah, it's almost like they're so opposite they just cancel out.
Yep, they just cancel each other out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some incomplete dominance kind of like that too, where like what's that, like black-headed spider isn't a real impressive animal, right? Yep. So you think that's the closest animal we have to that?
Right now, but if that exists, I don't think it would be the only one. Like, I don't think that's going to be the exception, especially if it's doing it to something as strong as spider. I think it's got to exist elsewhere too.
Yeah. So what was I thinking? So that's like the T positive and T negative albino stuff too. In my brain, I like first learning about that, I thought maybe if you put them together, they neutralize each other. But fuck it, because ultra male and regular albino, those are opposite ends of the spectrum, right? One's minus and one's negative, right? I forget how that shit works. But dude, ultra male albinos are fucking sick, bro.
I don't think I've seen one, but
they look fucking good, man.
Look that up after I hop off here.
Yeah, so but I don't know. Let me see. If you buy a high-end female and then realize you fucked up because it does nothing for your collection, do you keep it and buy it and sell what you need? I mean, like if you're going into multi-recessives, you can just get like a real good male for them and just make a bunch of triple hets and then hold those back and then sell her later. You know what I mean? So I think that's the route I would probably go. You know, sometimes like I had a lot of candy and toffee stuff years ago, and I sold my last one like 2 seasons ago. But I put it to other stuff too. Like I had like double het toffee clowns and shit too. You know, so.
We got.
Oh my God! If you could work with only Hurricane or Asphalt, which one?
I don't have Hurricane, so this one's for you.
Fuck.
Oh, Nicole always comes.
Asphalt. I'm gonna pick Asphalt over Hurricane. I like Asphalt that much. Yeah, like to me, I want to put super asphalt in every recessive and multi-recessive I have just to see what happens. Like, I want the fucking, like, sorry, Billy, but I want the monopoly on asphalt stuff. You know, like it's still so much to go, like with super asphalt combos that we don't have. Did anybody hit the super asphalt clown pod yet?
I don't think the clown pine's been done.
Justin missed it because he had an asphalt double head to double head. He missed it, but he did hit the freeway clown pie. But so he missed that. I think he has another chance to hit it this year too. So super asphalt DG clown. Come on now, you know, super asphalt ultra clown.
I think yeah, I'm pretty sure we're out. All right, man, I'm going to wrap this up because I need to do a few things before that Zoom call. This was awesome. Thank you so much for coming back.
Hey, man, I had fun, brother, man. Like, I'm so close to the screen because my hearing is fucked up and, you know, but it was fun, man. We have to do this more. I'm going to make sure I got better, like, audio stuff next time, too, man. It was super fun. Always good to catch up with you, man. Love you, brother, man. And I'll see you on the Zoom call in a bit, okay?
Thank you very much, Antoine. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon.
All right, guys. High Desert Pythons everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that shit. See you guys later.
Follow them.
All right, guys. Peace.
All right, guys. That was awesome. Always a great time with Antoine. I still have Nicole's comment on the screen. Always an amazing time chatting with Antoine. But I do have a special announcement. I can finally start announcing next week's guests ahead of time, which is fantastic. So next week we actually have Foster from Genetic Intuition coming on from up here in Canada. Super stoked for that. And then following that, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with the show for the next couple of weeks, only because, as I mentioned earlier, there is a move happening, and I'm not too sure how the internet access is going to be. I may be able to just come back here and do them here. We'll have to figure that out, but I'll make sure to post about it on Instagram. And yeah, guys, you know what? That was just a lot of fun. I felt like absolute balls for the past 3 days. And this was a good way to get my mind off it for a little while. But as you can tell, it's starting to catch up on me a little bit. So I'm going to go take some meds and drink some water and try to not feel like death. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate all you sticking around till right now. And yeah, we will catch you next week. Peace.